Hello, my name is Mr. Barnes, and I'd like to give you a brief walkthrough of the website. And what the intent of this is to help you navigate the website most efficiently so that you can optimize your learning time. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go through one of the units. I'll go through the fraction operations unit, and that's representative of the other units as far as the structure and the layout, so that if you understand how that fractions unit is laid out, you'll understand how to navigate through all the other units as well. I'm going to start by just showing you, this is the introductory panel here. It's just a paragraph of the overview of the intent of the website. There are two links here. One is a video of the introduction, kind of an overview of the intent of the website, which you may have already watched. The other is a link to this video that you're watching right now, which is the walk through the website. Lastly is a link here to the weekly office hours, which is an opportunity for a student that clicks on that link to be taken to a chat room where they can interact with me in real time and ask questions at a predetermined time each week, as shown on the link here, and actually ask a question to me that I would respond to and allow that student to gain some feedback from the instructor in real time via the chat room format. So that's kind of a neat opportunity to do with the Moodle website here. I'm going to go ahead and scroll down to the fractions unit, which is our second unit in the website. I bypassed the long division unit. The next unit down is the percent unit. We're going to focus on the fractions unit. You may not be able to see this real clearly on your computer screen, but I will walk you through basically what I'm doing as I go through it. The very first line and first link under each one of the units is a competency assessment or a pretest. That allows the student to determine whether or not he or she needs to focus on this unit or not. It's a pretest where the student can take a hard copy printed out test of that type of a problem, in this case fraction operations, and then grade themselves. The answer key is provided on the next line down, and determine whether or not, based on their performance on the pretest, they should focus on this particular topic or move on to another topic. Let's go ahead and click on that real quick, and you'll see a PDF file will come up, again, that you can print out at home and the student can work on at his or her own time. Several different types of fraction problems can be printed out on the home printer, worked out on a separate piece of paper. Jumping back to our website, I'm going to go ahead and move down to the next two links, and both of those are online tutorials. This is a module within the fractions unit that is part of each unit that is an online tutorial that walks the student through a visual and audio interactive tutorial of that particular problem type, which is, again, fractions here. I can go ahead and click on this. It'll take me to a website that you'll be able to hear an audio and a visual description of how to work through these types of problems. Gives us some instructions here of what to do after we click on the link. So we'll click on the link, and then we'll have to go ahead and start the module. I'm going to click on Chapter 5, Fraction Operations, and then what I'd like to focus on is adding and subtracting mixed numbers. And then I'm taken to a screen where it says learn the lesson or try some exercises. So there's a lot of different things I can avail myself of here. I'm going to go ahead and click on learn the lesson, and you'll see the tutorial. You'll hear the audio as I click on it as well.
Find the difference 5 1/9 minus 2 5/12. To subtract mixed numbers, we first rewrite the fractions using the least common denominator. The least common denominator of 1/9 and 5/12 is 36.
I'm going to go ahead and pause it there. Again, don't know how well you can see it on your computer at home, but this is an interactive activity where the student proceeds at his or her own pace, can slow it down, rewind, and try and remember how they perform these common denominator operations. Now, many students, before they take the pretest, we already have looked at the pretest, they'll think that, well, fractions, I had that back in 5th or 6th grade, and I think I understand that pretty well. I really don't need to study fractions because I've already had that. Well, that's probably true for all of these topics, but what we find is that when students go ahead and take that pretest or the competency assessment, they may realize after they grade themselves, they don't remember the material nearly as well as they thought they did. Just because they may have had it in the past, a year or two previously, doesn't mean they have retained that information if they don't practice it and use it on a regular basis. That's the intent of this website, is to provide that practice, that reinforcement before they start in high school mathematics, because here at Rice we are assuming that you know all this material when you come in, and we will not be reteaching it to you, so you really need to have a strong foundation. And this is an opportunity after they take the competency test and maybe see that they aren't performing as well as they thought they would or expected that they would, they can come in here to the tutorial and refresh themselves on how to do these types of problems. Okay. Let's go back to our website, and we'll go back to the fractions unit. Again, there are also hard copy instructions on how to perform these problems for the more traditional learner. If you have a student that is more of a book learner, they can click on the rules for adding and subtracting fractions in PDF format. Go ahead and print those out on the home printer and review them as a traditional textbook style instruction. There's different types of worked out sample problems. I'll click on this one right here. This is an example of a site where I can actually, as the instructor, I have a device called a Smart Pen. I can actually work out a problem in my notebook with the Smart Pen, and it records my audio and takes a picture of my notes. And it syncs those two together so that the student can actually go to that link that I just clicked on from the website and be taken to a website where I've uploaded my sample problems that I've worked out, and they can actually see my handwritten notes and hear me talk through how to do the problem as I'm writing the notes out. So it's a very unique opportunity, again, for the student to work at their own pace, hear the instructor work out a problem from the comfort of their own home, rewind, fast forward at their own pace. You can increase my notes to fill the screen. You can zoom in, and I realize that you may not be able to see this clearly on your own computer, but my notes are highlighted in green. When I go ahead and I click the play button, it's going to go ahead and start at the beginning of the problem as I worked it out and go through step by step, highlighting my notes as I write them out. I'm going to go ahead and click to the middle of the page after I hit the start button, because that'll show you that the student doesn't have to go through the entire problem. They can scroll down and click to any point in the notes or the problem that they want to see, and it'll jump right to that point.
Okay, let's do a quick example on how to add fractions. If you recall, whenever you add or subtract fractions, you need to find the common denominator. 12 3/4, and 5 and 2/3, and then we'll say 6 and 4/5. And
I'm going to go ahead and pause it right there, but it was actually highlighting my notes as it was going down. I jumped to a point right in the middle of the screen, had to turn up the volume a little bit so that you could hear it, but you can see that the student can scroll down as easily as they want to and listen to just the part that they're most interested in. Okay? I'm going to go ahead and go back to the website now. So those types of worked out problems, my notes and my audio linked together, are part of each one of the different units. There are also online practice problems that are electronically solved for the student. Actually, the student would select an answer on a multiple choice question, and then once they've answered all the questions, they can click check for solutions, and it will grade the paper for them and actually give them a score and show them which problems they missed. So they can get some electronic practice as well that doesn't count towards their mastery assessment at the end of the unit. There are also some hard copy problems here that traditional learners can print out on their home computer printer, print those out, work on them on a separate piece of paper, and then the answer key is provided so they can get some practice that way as well. The last entry under each one of the units is called a mastery assessment. This is kind of a summation quiz or test of the entire unit, and it's questions that are, it's a quiz that is electronically graded and timed. The student takes it after they've availed themselves of whatever modules in here make the most sense to them as far as their learning style, and they have an ID and a password that is required once they sign up for this website. We provide the ID and the password. They log into the website, take the quiz. Again, because it's timed and electronically graded, I can get the results and know exactly which student took the quiz and what the score is. I can provide that to the parents. So now there is a measurable metric of how well the student did, understanding the material, not just how much time was spent on it, but actually how much did the student actually retain, and therefore hopefully improve their performance in their Algebra 1 course freshman year because of their ability to understand the material here. We hope that you use the website and this helps you to use it as effectively as possible. Please again provide any suggestions for improvement of the website to me or to the school. We'd be happy to listen to your suggestions, but we really do think this is a unique tool that's going to allow students to sharpen those computational skills before they start Algebra 1 here at Brother Rice. We look forward to seeing your son here at Brother Rice at some point in the future, and we hope that this website helps them. Thanks a lot.